The first step in implementing a flexible benefit plan for India is to create a calculation card. We start signed into the application as an administrator with the Manage Payroll Calculation Card's duty role. For example, the predefined Payroll Setup Administrator role includes this duty role. Navigate to the Workforce Deployment offering and in the Legal Structures functional area, select the Legal Entity Calculation Cards task. Be sure you set the scope to your legal entity for India. Set the effective as of date and create a new flexible benefit plan. In the Plan Details section, set the frequency. Recall this frequency must match the periodicity of all payroll elements you intend to use, as well as the frequency of any salary basis you'll use with this plan. Optionally, you can select the salary basis type to further restrict which salary bases can be used with this card. Add a global eligibility profile to restrict which employees are eligible for this plan. The Components section requires more explanation. Not only do you need to include all of the payroll elements that your employees will use in the plan, but there are 4 required components as well. We'll fill out a row explaining each column as we go, then fill out the rest of the table and describe the results. For the first row, we'll add the first required component, Total Annual Gross Pay, or Total AGP for short. The component name is the value shown to employees. If the component is associated with a payroll element, select it here. The component type determines how the component will be used in the card. For example, is it total salary, a fixed percentage of total salary, a flexible amount, or so forth. We'll discuss the other columns as we discuss the additional rows. Be sure to check the check mark as you fill out each row, otherwise you'll lose your entries. The second row sets the employee's base salary to 60% of total compensation, and because it is fixed, they won't be able to adjust it. The third row is the first flexible component the employee will be able to adjust. The housing allowance defaults to 50% of base salary, but the employee will be able to adjust it to within their flexible amount total. The fourth row is the second flexible component. The default is a fixed amount. When we scroll to the right, you see that it defaults to 6,000 rupees a year. But once again, the employee will be able to adjust it. While we're here, notice that you could associate a calculation formula or eligibility profile with an individual component. The fifth row is the second required component, a balancing component. Since 60% of the employee's total compensation is fixed for base salary, they have 40% of their total compensation in flexible salary. If they don't use all of it for housing and internet, the remainder goes into the balancing component to ensure the employee always receives their full compensation. The sixth row is the third required component. It's used to display total fixed compensation amount to employees. Finally, the seventh row is the fourth required component that displays total flexible compensation amount to employees. Now that you understand the components, submit the plan and you're ready to proceed. Thanks for watching.